Simmons, Rap Simmons, Rap Simmons, Rap Simmons, ayy. Rap Simmons, ayy. Rap Simmons, Rap Simmons, Rap Simmons, Rap Simmons, Rap Simmons. 5 a.m. Yeah, not cool.
This is Jarad Anthony Higgins, better known as Juice the Kid or Juice Wrld. Juice Wrld is a singer, songwriter, rapper, and musical artist. Juice Wrld is known for his hit songs such as 2018's Lucid Dreams, All Girls Are the Same, along with 2019's hit song Robbery, and many, many more. Higgins was born on December 2nd, 1998 in Chicago, Illinois. Not much is known about Higgins' father, including his name, but sources claim he died in June of 2019. Higgins' mother's name was Carmela Wallace, and her and Jared's father would divorce when Higgins was only 3 years old. Higgins' mother was very religious and conservative and did not allow him to listen to hip-hop. However, he was allowed to listen to rock and pop music. Higgins' inspiration began at a young age after being introduced to artists including Billy Idol, Blink-182, Black Sabbath, Fall Out Boy, Megadeth, and Panic! At the Disco, through video games such as Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and Guitar Hero. This setting the stage for one of the most memorable and short-lived careers the world of music has ever seen. This is Daily Acts. We are Daily Acts. Higgins' musical career would begin in 2015 as an independent artist. He would begin making music under the moniker Juice the Kid, releasing numerous EPs and playlists titled Juice Up the EP, The Twilight Zone, Affliction, Heartbroken in Hollywood, Binge Drinking Music, Nothing's Different, which would see the placement of the massive hit song All Girls Are the Same, and finally, Too Soon. However, out of all those mixtapes, one would catch the attention of Chicago rappers G Money and G Herbo. Higgins would release a mixtape in June of 2017 on SoundCloud called Juice Wrld 999, which would house some of the best writing and song structure coming out of Chicago at the time, along with smash hit Lucid Dreams. The mixtape would come in at 8 songs with a runtime of 29 minutes and 9 seconds. Shortly after the release, Higgins would end up signing his first major record deal with Grade A Productions and Interscope Records, prompting him to change his stage name to Juice Wrld.
I suck. That'll never happen again.
Before we get further into Higgins' discography and musical career, let's visit the year 2013, which would be Higgins' 6th grade year in elementary school. Juice claims it was in the year 2013 that he would start using drugs such as Percocet, Xanax, and lean.
Way too many.
Higgins would continue his battle with addiction for the rest of his life. In a 2019 freestyle, Juice would say, "I gotta admit myself, I'm on these drugs, feel like I can't save myself." Juice's addiction would ultimately be linked to high levels of anxiety and depression. Shortly after the release of his 2017 mixtape, Juice would open up the 2018 year with a slew of new and re-released music, including his debut album. On May 4th, 2018, Juice Wrld would re-release the song Lucid Dreams to announce his debut studio album dropping on May 25th, 2018 through his new label. The song was produced by Nick Mira.
I'm Nick Mira, and I'm breaking down Lucid Dreams for Hot News.
The song would debut at number 74 on Billboard Hot 100 and eventually climb and peaking all the way at number 2. The song is number 22 on Spotify's all-time stream music songs, along with over 2.1 billion streams on Spotify. The song would receive Diamond certification in February of 2022, meaning the song sold over 10 million copies worldwide. The song would be Juice Wrld's biggest song to date.
Damn, I didn't even know that was happening right next to me.
On May 25th, 2018, Juice Wrld would release his debut studio album, Goodbye and Good Riddance. The album would come in at 17 songs with a runtime of 47 minutes and 30 seconds. The album would be full of new and old Juice Wrld songs. Goodbye and Good Riddance debuted at number 15 on the US Billboard 200 with 39,000 album equivalent units in its first week. In its second week, the album moved up to number 8 with an additional 45,000 units. In its third week, the album climbed the chart to number 6 with 42,000 album equivalent units. The album would primarily be produced by the Pennsylvania producer Nick Mira. The album would produce notable Juice Wrld hits such as All Girls Are the Same, Lean With Me, Wasted, and Armed and Dangerous, all of which would chart on the Billboard Hot 100. The debut album would lead to mass amounts of hype and success for the artist, garnering the attention of other industry professionals and celebrities alike. One of the names impressed with the young talent was Nevadius Damon Cash, or as we all know him by the legendary Future.
Sensational.
Juice Wrld would detail how he told Future during their first meeting that he influenced the young Chicago rapper to try lean at a young age. Future would respond, "When he told me that, I was like, oh what the have I done?" Future told Rolling Stone in 2019, "It really bothered me. It bothered me a lot, more than I thought it would bother me when he told me that." Future would influence a young Higgins to try lean for the first time, but more than that, Future would influence Juice to start making some of the most notable songs in the era.
I'm so crazy about mine.
Nonetheless, the two would kindle a friendship, and their friendship would later lead them to release their collaborative project, Future and Juice Wrld Present World on Drugs. The mixtape would be attached to the lead single, Fine China, and would see guest appearances from Young Thug, Lil Wayne, Young Scooter, Gunna, Young Bands, and Nicki Minaj. The mixtape would debut at number 2 on the US Billboard 200 and sold 98,000 copies in its first week. The mixtape would be Future's 10th top 10 album and Higgins' second. The project would sell a respectful 45,000 units in week 2 and drop to number 8 on the US Billboard Top 200.
This ain't right.
2 months after the release of World on Drugs, Juice would announce yet another collaboration EP, this time titled Evil Twins, due to how similar the two looked, along with their friendship being similar to the two brothers. However, the mixtape would never see the light of day. It was said it was going to be made with Ski Mask the Slump God. Instead, Higgins would release his sophomore studio album and most successful project to date, Death Race for Love. The album title and cover would serve as an ode to the early video game Twisted Metal. The production of the album would be handled by multiple producers including Nick Mira, Boy Wonder, No ID, Frank Dukes, and Tommy Brown, among others. The album would also have notable features from up-and-coming R&B artists Brent Faiyaz, Russian, Clever, and Young Thug. Death Race for Love would debut at number 1 on the US Billboard Top 200, selling a staggering 165,000 units in the first week. The album would mark Higgins' first number 1 album, and in its second week, the album would claim the number 1 spot again, selling another 74,000 units, before dropping to number 3 in its third week, selling another 54,000 units. As of the release of this video, the album has sold over 2 million copies in the US alone and would reach 2-time platinum status on October 29th of 2021. The album would cement Higgins' spot as one of the biggest artists in the world. This was only the beginning for Higgins, but all of it would come to an abrupt and screeching halt on December 8th, 2019. Higgins and his crew would board a private jet on December 8th along with girlfriend Ali Lottie and fellow Australian artist Charlton Howard, better known as the Kid Leroy. The jet was leaving Van Nuys Airport in Los Angeles, California, and heading for Midway International Airport in Chicago, Illinois. It was said that Juice was heading into Chicago to spend time with family to celebrate his 21st birthday, which was just days before the incident. Little did Higgins and his crew know there were law enforcement officers awaiting the jet's arrival in Chicago after a hint led them to believe there were drugs and guns on the plane. Officials later confirmed they found over 70 pounds of marijuana on the jet, and several members of Higgins' management saying he had swallowed several unknown pills in an attempt to hide them from officers. The pills would also include numerous Percocets. During the law enforcement search of the plane, Higgins began convulsing and seizing. after which 2 doses of emergency medication naloxone were given to Higgins as an opioid overdose was suspected. Higgins was then transferred to the nearby Advocate Christ Medical Center where he was pronounced dead. Cook County medical examiners initially declared the cause of death as unknown, but on January 22, 2020, the examiner would determine Higgins died as a result of toxic levels of oxycodone and codeine present in his system. Juice Wrld pioneered an era known as the SoundCloud era and would leave a profound impact on the industry. People speculate he predicted his own death as the lyrics from his song Legends, which was an ode to deceased artists XXXTentacion and Lil Peep. Juice would say, "What's the 27 club? We ain't making it past 21. Juice would die mere days after his 21st birthday, making the song and its lyrics even more important. Juice Wrld is a realization of a young talent years ahead of his time. Struggle, hardship, and addiction condensed into sounds that resonate with the masses. Juice was right. Legends never die, and Higgins' music and impact forever live on in the hearts of all of us. Until next time, rest easy, Jarad.